Welcome to the School of Leadership Development radio show with your host, Angel Vallejo, here to love, serve, and transform business and life. And if you're listening for the first time, I want to say welcome. This space is designed for to share about what God is doing in the marketplace and people's talents and things that are going on. And I want to extend a quick invite before we get started. If yourself or if you know somebody that is passionate about what they're doing and what God is doing in their life, I would love to have them on this show, interviewed with them. Go ahead and shoot me a text or a comment. You could comment on below or shoot me a message on Messenger. However way, I just want to say thank you and pat yourself on the back for showing up, for those of you that are live and also those of you that are listening to the recording. And I'm really excited because I had several years ago, I wrote a book called The Leadership Mindset. And today I'm going to be sharing just a few things that I wrote in that book and some things that I kind of got out of it, and hopefully it'll bring value to you, and also you can be able to use it in your space, in your space of work or life or whatnot. And so welcome. I'm excited to have you on board today. And so it's called the 3 dimensions of time. And before we get started, I want to ask you to, because you probably heard about this before. So I want you to have just a fresh new ears, fresh new eyes and to listen it in a whole new perspective, because you might get something out of this that my hope and prayer is that you get turned on to something that's like, oh my gosh, I've been looking at this a certain way for so long, and hopefully you have some type of breakthrough. So these 3 dimensions of time, there's nothing new. We all have heard about it before, and we've all probably lived it. And it's called the past, present, and future. And if you've noticed before, I don't know if you've ever been in a conversation with somebody, or even probably yourself, and you're having this conversation, and the person is totally out, like their eyes are like they're not even thinking about what you're saying. They're thinking either something that happened last week, or maybe they're thinking about what's next, what they're going to have for lunch or dinner, or maybe something in even further out, like a week later, or something that they haven't been doing, that they've been worried about. And so I'm totally guilty of it myself. There have been times where I've totally dwelled on things of a lot of failures that I've had in my past. And so what I've found though is that going through this whole idea of personal development, and always trying to seek for how can I better myself, and how can I learn from my past mistakes. And several years ago, I was taking a course on mindset and how I can kind of overcome some of the challenges. And the book that I wrote, that's what it was. It was 3 ways to overcome challenges. And so if you ever find yourself thinking about just what has happened in the past, or maybe you might be going through some stuff right now, and it's okay. It's okay. I want to be in this space to let you know that it is okay. If you're going through a hard time right now. A lot of us are going through hard times, and but it's nothing new. There's always something going on in our lives, no matter whatever perceived level that you're at. There's always something going on that can really take us back, or really put us in a place where we're like, man, how am I going to get out of this situation? So I'm going to give you 2 nuggets here for if you ever find yourself looking at your past and the things that have gone on, and you're like, man, here we go again. Something is going to happen again, or it looks like I'm repeating the same idea or the same thought that's going over. There's ways to break it. One way is, when you think about it's okay to think about your past, but you don't want to live there too long, because obviously we're living in the present moment, and we all have, hopefully we have a future, right, as well. So when you look at your past, you want to think of 2 things. As one is your successes. And if you're taking notes right now, or write it mentally, jot it down, is everyone has successes in your life. I don't care how young you are, or how old you are, or how many failures you got. Everyone has successes in their life. So I want to encourage you, write down five things that you know you're a success, that you've been successful for in your past, that you could use that as whenever you're thinking about your past, think about the successes that you've had. And then the second one is your recoveries. So all of us have overcome things, and sometimes people come to me and say, "Man, why are you so positive? It seems like nothing's going on. Nothing negative ever happens in your life," and that's not true. There's a lot of things that negative that has happened in my life, and a lot of baggage that I've had, and trials and things that I've gone through. And the only reason why I'm able to stand up and be joyful, one, is because God is in my life, but two is because I overcame those things. I recovered from the things that were holding me back in the days. So when you think about your past, those are two nuggets: your successes and your recoveries. And it's okay. We're all designed differently. Some of us are naturally all about what happened back in the days and the past. Some of us are naturally futuristic, and some of us are naturally present, gifted to be gifted just in the present. And so there's nothing wrong with dwelling on the past. You just don't want to live there too long. And if you do, just focus on your successes and recoveries, and you'll be good. And I came up with this acronym called LAFFY. It stands for Leave All Failures for Yesterday. And because when you're moving forward and you're doing things on a daily basis, you don't want to think about your failures, because all of us have failed. You want to go after it. You want to win. We all want to win. It feels good to win. And but we know that, leave the failures for yesterday. And for the present is take action fast for yourself. And that's TAFFY. Take action fast for yourself in the present moment. And I'm going to share with you, it's called the Daily Dozen. This is from one of my mentors, Dr. John C. Maxwell. And he talks about today matters. So the present moment is all we have. Because even those of us that are futuristic, we're always thinking like, okay, what's next? We got thinking about future, which is awesome. But the present moment is really the future. If you think about it, a minute from now, that's the future. It's going to happen. And then we're in our present moment, right? So when you're in the present is knowing that today's Wednesday. Today is what we got, guys and gals. And John C. Maxwell talks about the attitudes that we have. One is thinking about today matters in our attitudes. So what type of attitude do we have about today, about Wednesday? Wednesdays are awesome. It's the middle of the week, right? But some people might not like Wednesdays because they still got a couple more days before the weekend, or whatever conversation you're having with yourself. But so today matters in our attitudes, in our family. What can we do about today with our family? Today matters in our finances. Today matters in our generosity. So where are we? What can we do today in those areas? He also talks about priorities. What can we do in our priorities and prioritize today? In our thinking, how can we prioritize our thinking today? Our faith, our values, our health. So today matters in our health. Today matters in our commitments. Today matters in our relationships. Reach out to somebody. Say hi. Comment. Do whatever you got to do to reach out and to your loved ones today. Because today is all we got. And for today matters for growth. Those are the 12 the daily dozen that John Maxwell talks about in his book Today Matters. And if you're one of the people that, not even if you are, all of us, we should all be looking at what is our future, right? What do we want for ourselves in the future? And one thing that was highlighted to me was when you're thinking about future stuff, is you want to think about your vision. What is your vision? What is your calling? What is your purpose? Vision, calling, purpose. And for those of us that are believers, we already know the future. We know who holds the future. And we know that God wins at the end. So it's pretty amazing that when you think about future, one thing that was shared with me is that you want to think about future as it is now. That now is a future. So however you want to be living, however you want to show up in life, it's not about this day, next week, next month, next year, 5 years from now, I'm going to be like this. No, it's today. Today is what really is going to bring that, whatever it is that you want. And so these are the 3 dimensions of time. If you can see here in the middle, it's like there's a little red spot right in between. That's, I like to call that the sweet spot, because the sweet spot is where I think John Maxwell said it best. He says, when you have peace with your past and hope for the future, there's power in the present. So those are the 3 dimensions of time. John Maxwell said it best, is when you have peace with your past, hope for the future, there's power in the present. And I am grateful for all of you that showed up today. And I want you to go ahead and if you got anything out of these few words that I shared today, go ahead and type in the comment box. Send me a like or a heart or even a message. I mentioned earlier, this platform is designed for you to shine and for us to give God the glory of what he's doing in our lives. And so I'm really excited in this season that God has me in. And this is just something that I felt led to do, to be able to add value to the marketplace. So I'm really excited. If you know anyone that wants to be on this show, let them know about this, share it with somebody, or even, if you want to be on this show, send me a message, and I'd love to set a date. We already have a few people coming up in the next couple of weeks that I'm excited about. But those are the 3 dimensions of time for you today. And I want to say thank you. Thank you for showing up. And this is the School of Leadership Development radio show. We air live on Wednesdays, noon Pacific. If you want us to focus on certain topics or ideas, go ahead and send them over. But I want to say thank you. I appreciate you. I'm on your side. Pat yourself on the back for showing up. Today is a great day, and it's yours to use in a marvelously productive way. God bless you, and we'll see you next week. Take care.